Welcome everyone. Today's video, I dug out a brand new bed ready for planting right in spring. And today's video, we're actually going to go ahead and set some plants out and get them in the ground. Really excited about it. As always, I'll talk you through what I'm thinking. I'll talk you through what the plants are, how big they grow, and all that sort of good stuff, right? So without further ado, let's get into today's video. So I actually dug this out back in January, give it a really good weed a couple of nights ago, and it's finally time to place those plants out. So first one is red ensete. Now this isn't a hardy plant unfortunately, but hopefully we'll get this up to about 4 or 5 feet this year, right in the middle and right at the front as well. Unfortunately it's not frost hardy. Next one is as tough as old boots, Miscanthus, a variety called Strictus. Then look at the bat wing. So this is a variety of Persicaria, absolutely beautiful, doesn't grow too big, and it's very, very hardy. So that's going at the front of the bed. I have a beautiful fig. Now this was, many of these plants were gifted to me by Gaz. Thank you very much, Gaz, if you are watching. I really appreciate it. A really lovely variety of fig called Ice Crystal. I put that towards the back of the bed, leaving about 1 metre or so from the back, hoping for that to get a monster. So we've got some really lovely summer bedding. I've grown these myself. This is a ricinus plant in my left hand. The first one I'm planting down is Love Lies Bleeding Amaranths. These aren't frost hardy, these two varieties, but I'm really hoping to create some real height. So my Love Lies Bleeding will get up to anything about 3 feet over the summer, and then this ricinus can get anything from 6 to 9 feet plus, depending on how much love I give it and how much nitrogen, right? We've got some more summer bedding plants here with coleus. Slugs do love these though, so I'm just gonna have to keep an eye out on how these actually fare. With watering more in the morning now than at evening, I'm hoping to battle some of those slug numbers. So I'm fairly happy with what is actually set out in the beds. Now I do have a couple of things in there already. I have euonymus just there, and then in the middle we have some Acuba japonica, also known as the spotted laurels. Again, there we have the bat wings and the coleus back together as well. I have got a gap in between the front and back row, which we'll come on to a little bit later. It won't be planted up today, but I'll talk you through what's going to go in the middle of the bed, as this isn't quite the end product, if that makes sense. Now there's nothing more for me to do than just to plant these, right? So with me giving these a bit of a dig over and a really good weed last night, I added some really good stuff to the soil. So I added fish blood and bone for general health of the plants, and then I added chicken manure, which, if you guys know, I bang on about chicken manure all the time. It's full of nitrogen and it really helps with really lush growth over the summer. So that's what I've gone for. I've actually already dug it all in. If I hadn't done that, then what I would be doing is I would be digging these holes a little bit bigger. I would be putting a little bit of fish blood and bone and chicken manure in the bottom of the hole, backfilling it with just a touch of soil, just so it's not touching the roots or the new shoots, and then simply planting the plants in and then backfilling it just like that. The reason why I don't have the chicken manure directly on the roots is it is very high in nitrogen and it can burn new roots and new shoots, so just bear that in mind. I don't know if I mentioned, but this Miscanthus here is a stripy variety and it gets about 150 centimeters in height, so I'm excited to see this one. I'm not sure as to whether I'm going to keep the hedge at the back or whether this will be coming out and I'll extend the border, but for now I'm happy to keep it, because if you guys have been here from the start, you'll know that this was pretty much just a field. So I'm very excited about the progress that I've already made. This fig variety as well is absolute beauty. It's a very different leaf shape pattern compared to like the normal varieties like the brown turkey that I've actually got. And I'm actually bearing some fruit this year, which is really quite interesting on my brown turkey, because I've had fruit, but it's always much later on in the season.
and they're doing really, really well. They're swelling up really well, and I'm very excited to see whether I'm gonna get some or not. Now, just when it comes to this red Ensete just here, yes, it's right in the middle, and yes, it should get to about 5 feet in height, but that's what I really want it to be. I really want it to be at the front of the bed and not at the back. It adds sort of a different dynamic to a planting scheme when all of a sudden you've got something really large at the front, and you've got other stuff sort of hiding around the back. So that has been done on purpose, guys. I really didn't want to lose this plant to the back of the beds. And this particular plant here, Persicaria batwings, I've never seen this variety before. I'm very grateful to Gaz who's given it me. I cannot wait to sort of cultivate these plants myself, and hopefully I can share them out like Gaz has done for me as well. Now, this beautiful thing is a Rustifina. I'm actually going to be planting this in a big pot in the ground. Reason being is it's a beautiful tree. However, it's what we call a runner. And what that means is basically it's going to pop up in different places in the garden. It will send the runners out, particularly if it has a little bit of trauma. So this happens a lot when you actually cut the main stem. It'll send signals down to the roots to send babies out to save the tree, and then they sort of pop up everywhere. And that's what happened before I moved into the garden. So I actually managed to get a couple of these out of my front garden. Rustifina, I have got 2 in. One's in the ground, which I've made a conscious decision to put in the ground because I want it really quite large. And another one's over the other side, which is right next to a boundary, which again I've kept in a pot because I'm very respectful of my neighbours and I really don't want to cause any issues. It's worth mentioning just here there's a black tin shed, so I'm really not worried about anything getting really big here. It's not going to encroach on anybody's sun or anything like that, so I'm not too worried. The other side of the garden is a different story. I want to keep everything around 6 foot, maybe 7 at a push. I'm going to be very respectful of my neighbours, or I don't want to take out any sun out of their garden. But the other side, A, the sun, it'll affect my garden, and B, like I say, there's a big metal building, so I'm not worried. This is the end product, guys. Let me know what you think. I am going to plant some canna lilies in the middle. I've got a couple growing, which are a little bit too small to go out, as I feel the slugs will have a field day. And there's the Rustifina just at the back there. So let me know your thoughts. Have you got any plans to get a new border in? Let me know what you think.
There we have it. I'm actually in my front garden for a change. So I've spent a little bit of time on my week off just tending to my front garden. I wouldn't say it was neglected, but I certainly could have spent more time than I have in it over the past few weeks. It's been an extremely busy time. Spring is a very hectic time in the garden, and I think I'm just like you guys. Sometimes I feel a little bit overwhelmed, so I'll leave certain jobs, I'll continue with other jobs. Really happy with what I achieved today at the back garden. Very happy to see how this bed is going to do over the summer and for the years ahead, because we've got some lovely winter interest in there. We've got some not so winter interest, right? But as always, like all new beds and borders that I do in my tropical style garden, I'll heavily plant it up with summer bedding plants like ricinus, love lies bleeding, what I consider a tropical theme plant, just to get that instant height. Yes, it doesn't help me long term, but it does save a few quid, right? Because if I was to spend a plant, I mean, the ricinus is going to get to 6, 7, 8 feet, fingers crossed, if we have a good summer. If I was to buy a plant that size, like a Trachycarpus, you're talking hundreds of pounds, right? So that's the reason why I do it in such a manner. Hopefully that will give you guys some inspiration to take your instant garden forward, if that makes sense. But if you did enjoy it, then please give it a big thumbs up, as it really does help the channel out, and drop a comment down below, as it helps share it out to others who love gardening just like we do. Until tomorrow, I'll see you in the garden. You take care. Let me know if you want to see more of this sort of stuff as well. Anyway, you take care.